was washed ashore by the waves. When I woke up and looked around, I saw the bodies of my companions. I was extremely frightened. After searching around, I realized I was the only survivor of the shipwreck. I held back my grief and buried my companions on the shore. Afraid of the creatures on the island, I spent the whole night sitting in a tree. Early in the morning, I saw the sunken ship, and hope ignited in me again. I climbed onto the ship, hoping to find some food, but as soon as I reached the cabin, I heard barking. I raised my axe and broke open the door. Inside was my beloved dog. I also found some guns and food, so I made a raft, moved all the necessities and the dog onto the raft together, and then used the power of the waves to transport the supplies to the shore. After some repairs and adjustments, I decided to explore the forest, but I walked for a long time and didn't see a single person. The next moment, I froze. At the end of the forest was still the sea. I collapsed to my knees. I was alone on Tyre Island. How could I survive? To make rescue easy, I had to live by the shore. Months passed, and no ships appeared. One day, I was fishing by the shore when the dog suddenly started barking. At first, I didn't pay attention, but while drinking water, I saw a ship in the distance. I couldn't believe it, so I quickly ran to light a bonfire. Unfortunately, the ship didn't notice me. I fired several more shots, but they were drowned out by the sound of the waves. I even jumped into the sea, but everything was in vain. Finally, I was washed back to the island by the waves. I completely broke down, but hearing the dogs barking, I calmed down again. After this incident, I realized that I would probably have to stay here for a long time, so I had an idea and built a small house. There were all kinds of small animals on the island, as well as a natural waterfall. I lived a fulfilling life every day. I also erected a monument to record the number of days I had been stranded. Gradually, I adapted to this kind of life. Usually, apart from going out, I played the flute, and the little dog danced beside me, but it was nothing but making the best of a bad situation. One day, while taking a leisurely walk, I saw a big footprint. I felt something was wrong, and immediately ran back to my residence. After loading ammunition, I followed the noisy sounds to the depths of the forest. I saw indigenous people holding a cruel ceremony. Seeing that a second person was about to be killed, even though I was very scared, I still fired a shot. In the chaos, the man escaped. We ran into each other on the road. Suddenly, he snatched my gun. He didn't know how to use it and thought it was just a stick. The tension between us was palpable. To protect myself, I shot him.
A machine is inserted into the man's mouth to implant a bomb into his body. Everyone in the prison has been implanted with such a device. Crossing the yellow line will cause extreme pain. If the red line is crossed, the bomb will explode instantly. Their movements are tracked in real time. Even their dreams are identified by AI and projected onto the warden's screen. Once any unauthorized thoughts are detected, the warden will immediately activate the pain mode. Under such strict control, some prisoners have become demented. John is one of them. It turns out that in the future, the entire world has been nuclear contaminated. Ecological environments are completely destroyed. To reduce the population, the government has stipulated that each person can only have one child. John's wife accidentally got pregnant again. They used a special vest to dodge security checks again and again. Unexpectedly, they were finally discovered. To cover for his wife's escape, John was captured and brought to this prison. He saw a prisoner being bullied, so driven by a burst of righteousness, he stepped in to help, but he didn't notice. The bully had 187 carved on his head, which means he is the boss of the prison. John was no match for him at all, beaten helplessly without the power to fight back. Fortunately, the surveillance detected it in time. Then the three were locked in a laser cage. Careless movements would cause burns from the laser beams. Seeing his cellmate about to collapse, John stepped forward to confess guilt. He was immediately taken to the warden's presence, who unashamedly expressed his admiration for John's wife. After all, he is the boss of the prison. To torture John, the warden tied him to a special machine, constantly pouring contaminated images into his mind. When the torture ended, John had completely broken down mentally, unable to take care of his basic life needs. The warden threatened John's wife that if she wanted to save John, she must agree to be with him for her husband's safety. She had to comply with the warden's demands. During this period, she kept looking for opportunities. One day, she drugged and knocked out the warden, then used a surveillance robot to connect to John's brain. With her help, John successfully woke up from his confused state. He then realized 4 months had passed. John, having regained his sanity, was determined to rescue his wife. Soon, a turn of events came. A cellmate who had been serving the warden could use this to contact John's wife. At night, she stole the prison's map chip and had the cellmate bring it back to the cell. Under the laser's illumination, John learned the escape route of the prison, but to leave this place, he still needs to remove the bomb in his body.